What's up, you guys? I am back, and today I decided to do a diet update video on where I am during my cut, and thank you for all the likes and positivity from my last video, which is guaranteed weight loss tips. Since I know you guys like stuff about weight loss tips, I want to share with you guys my current diet update and where I am in my current journey and what's changed from this journey compared to 2 years ago and from my last cut. The first thing I wanted to update you guys on was my weight loss in the past 2 weeks. Right now, my fat loss goal is for moderate fat loss, so not too extreme and not too slow. So I'm aiming for at least a pound a week. So 2 weeks ago, I was at 138.95 pounds as my average weight loss. And then as you guys know, I went to the Life is Beautiful festival, and that added on a lot of water weight. So then last week, I was kind of just making sure I'm counting my overall calories, macros, and the weight did drop. So now, presently, my current weight loss average is around 137 pounds. And so that's like a 2-pound difference. So I did hit my goal even though I enjoyed the festival. And during the festival, I did not count calories. I did not count alcoholic beverages. I also had like the full sugared cocktails. They didn't have any diet options at the festival. So yeah, that is what I did, and I still stayed on track. And I'm gonna share with you guys the ways I did that. In the past, I would always, eyeball foods and be like, how many macros is that? And always try to figure out how many macros is on that plate. So whenever family members or friends try to convince me to eat something of theirs, they would say, it's high protein, what about your macros? But this time around, I'm going into this diet with a different approach. In fact, I don't like to call it a diet because I'm not being deprived and I don't feel like I am. It's just crazy to me that a few years ago, I was all about kind of carrying all these, like I do meal prep videos, and that's what I'm known for on YouTube. And I still do meal preps, and they're great for at-home meals and stuff like that. But now I actually pre-plan my day for if I know I'm gonna go out later, or if I know I'm gonna have a bigger meal later in the day. And also wanted to share with you guys that I'm not the type of girl that likes to eat salads or anything healthy, like chicken wraps, stuff like that when I'm eating out. Like if I'm gonna eat out at a burger place, I want the full burger with the fries and all the sauces. So I don't want to feel like I am on a diet. And I'm also not contest prepping, so this is kind of just for me. So there's no reason to be super duper strict. In the beginning, yes, in the beginning of your fitness journey, if you're a beginner, I highly recommend you count every macro, every calorie, and make sure it's on point. But after a certain point, like I feel like after my initial fitness journey, I gathered so much knowledge about just the sizes of portion sizes, and I would guess the grams and see if I could pre-measure it correctly before I put it on the food scale. I just play games like that with myself. But now I'm to the point where I am like 90% accurate most of the time when I guesstimate macros. So I mean, that's kind of a fun thing to do when you're macroing all the time, is guesstimating macros and then checking it on MyFitnessPal to compare who's right and who's wrong. So I used to do that with one of my best friends. Whenever we ate out, we would guesstimate macros and then check who's right or who's wrong. But to the top. So I don't eat out every day. I like to eat at home because it does save you money, number one. And it just tastes better, and the macros are very accurate. The calories are accurate because you made and prepared those foods yourself. All right, so coming from the girl who is all about macros, and counting every calorie, honestly, during this cut, I'm more flexible, and it has allowed me to basically stay on my diet and stay on track and actually feel more motivated because I don't feel like I'm depriving myself of just life in general. Like I'm not like, no, I can't do that, no, I can't do that. During this cut, I'm saying more yeses to events, restaurants, and things with friends than I ever had before. Before I'd kind of like lock myself up for 90 days until I got the results I wanted. And then I'd go ham and, you know, gain more of the weight back than I wanted to. And also, after this cutting stage, I want to do a lean bulk. And honestly, I can say I've never done a successful lean bulk, because typically right after the diet's over, you get your before and after pictures out, I would just go ham on food. But this time around, I wanted to make it long-term and sustainable instead of just losing the weight and then going back to where you were. It just seems like all this lost progress. So why am I saying don't worry about every macro after I've been preaching about counting every macro? Well, if you're on the advanced level like I am, as far as being able to gauge and guesstimate accurately what macros and calories look like for different dishes, what I would do is, say I'm going to Korean barbecue, I know that's going to be at least a little over 1,000 calories depending on the sides I eat and stuff like that. So I pre-plan during the beginning of the day, so I'll keep my calories really low. I'll keep them between 300 to 500 calories to get me to dinner, and then I'll just eat until I'm full. So it's kind of like intuitive eating. So I would eat until I'm full for dinner and not overdo it. In fact, this weekend I went to a movie, I had full buttered popcorn, and then I drank water and had some diet soda on the side, so that doesn't really count. And then I had, you know, Red Robin's. I had my mushroom burger with the garlic fries, which is garlic sauteed with butter, and I had my ranch and honey mustard on the side. But I didn't eat it to completion, I ate it till I was full. So that's another tip I would give to you guys, is when you eat out, don't make it like a cheat meal and just finish your entree, then get dessert for no reason, even though you're really full. Just eat until you're full and then move on. And then the next day, just get back on track with your macros and you'll be fine. Another way I look at excessive calories, like instead of looking at it as, oh, I messed up, I didn't count every macro, so might as well just mess up the next day, I look at it as, okay, say I hit maintenance, or say I hit a little bit of a surplus. That's like a lean bulk. That's like barely any fat gained. From there, you could use tomorrow's workout or the next day as a good workout. Like you could use those calories for your leg day or for a very intense workout, and you'll see that you're gonna have a really good workout the next day. So there are advantages. It's just the way you look at it. So I look at it as a positive thing and saying, you know, I'm proud of myself for having self-control, for stopping when I'm full, and for pre-planning in the beginning of the day. All right, so another last thing I want to talk about is taking progress photos. It is so important. Every week from week 1 to week 12, or however long your transformation takes, you need to take before and after photos. So your before photos or your weekly photos, because I take my photos from day 1 of my transformation to every weekly check-in with myself. I do my own weekly check-ins where I check in with myself, comparing my average weight loss and if I need to adjust my calories or macros as needed in order to make progress the next week. So how do I do my before and after photos or my progress photos? Every morning, it's kind of like the weigh-ins. I do them every morning the same way with the same type of bottoms and sports bra. And I always do them not flexed and then try to get it the same distance from the sink as the last time. And also, so I do a front shot and a side shot. Those are just my 2 main pictures I take, and I just do them relaxed. If you want to go above and beyond, if you can ask somebody to take your photo or set your camera up, you can also do your back and do you know, a front relax, front flex, back relax, back flex. But I honestly just do the front relaxed and then the side shot relaxed to show the weight loss in my stomach. So these progress photos are not only good for motivation, but they allow you to look at, you know, you could look at week 5 to week 7 side by side and see with your eye that you did lose fat. Because sometimes the scale is deceiving, sometimes the scale won't budge, but at least if you have those photos to look back on and to compare, you can see that you did make progress. Oh, I did lose fat in these areas, so the diet is working. So that is an encourager, and it also is why coaches will ask for progress photos, because sometimes the scale can be deceiving. So it's better to just look at the person side by side and see where exactly you lost fat and stuff like that. In the beginning, I'd get emotional about my weight loss. A lot of people are emotional about their own weight loss journey, like they are sensitive to, you know, weight gain and stuff like that, because they're trying so hard to lose weight, and sometimes it works against them. That's why having a coach can be advantageous, because if you're not the type of person that looks at things in a logical perspective and manner, you can get discouraged easily. That's where a coach would come in and tell you encouraging words and say, no, you're on the right track, because from looking at your progress photos, I see this and this, that you have made progress, and keep going, stuff like that. So that's the number one reason why, other than if you don't know what you're doing at all and don't feel like doing the research and figuring out how to coach yourself, a coach is great for encouragement. Okay, so one last thing. When you're trying to lose weight, don't focus on so many things at once. Don't focus on, oh, I need to get on this, you know, exercise program. I need to do these classes. I need to do this, and that. Number one is what you put in your body. I believe that 90% of the results you're gonna get is gonna come from your diet. Unless you're an Olympic athlete and you train all day for a living, or have a very laborious job where you're working, you know, 8-12 hours a day with your body lifting heavy objects. Most people who work office jobs or just normal standing jobs need to count something. They need to be on point with their diet to get the results that they want. So number one thing I focus on is diet. Number two thing I focus on is strength training. Number three is cardio, and this is kind of optional because I use cardio as a way in order for me to eat more food, burn more fat. But yeah, I'll talk more about everything in future videos, but I just wanted to give you guys my own diet update.